Long has the continent of Edera been ruled by the Osweri Empire, keeping peace among the numerous factions of peoples who live within their boundaries, with fair leadership and representation. The peace did not last, however, as the line of emperors became corrupt with greed and power, and as they began to launch campaign after campaign to claim even more land and riches. Their demand on their subjects grew ever more until they reached a breaking point. A rebellion was born, as the factions of the north banded together to march into the heartland of the empire to put a stop to it. The hard-fought rebellion was broken at the foot of Norak, the empire's prized capital, but with the Osweris spread so thin, they were able to broker a truce. The Osweris granted them their independence in return for an end to the fighting. But as the years passed, and the factions' anger and pain against the Osweris were forgotten, old rivalries began to surface between the Arbidim state, the Sufrak clans, and the Wakara bands, breaking the trust between the factions of Edera. This does not go unnoticed by the Osweri Empire, whose ever-aggressive emperor looks upon the free lands of Edera with hungry eyes. You and your family lived a simple life within the Arbidim state as farmers, making a living bringing crops to market every year, nothing out of the ordinary happening until 2 years ago, with the arrival of a mysterious man who stumbled onto your farm, barely clinging to his life. He was injured and on the verge of death, and your parents, kind-hearted folk, tended to his wounds and allowed him to work on the farm while he slowly recovered. You came to know this man as Scovis, and grew quite fond of him as he taught you simple sword-fighting techniques and enchanted you with his tales of adventure all over the world. Scovis was always talking about the aggression of the Osweri Empire. But your parents did not want to hear it. Nothing could make them leave their home. Even when rumors of Sufrak raiding parties started, they believed that nothing would ever happen to their village and way of life. Unbeknownst to anyone, the Osweri Empire is on the march, looking to reclaim their ancient land. Your town just happens to be one of the first victims of a merciless Osweri campaign of revenge.